So you know how last week I gave like a big analysis on the YouTube video about why this is such an impressive isekai, how it blends all these different stories into one beautiful package, yet it feels like they're all written as if they're their own main series, and somehow it blends as if they've always existed. It's just really impressive to the point that it takes a really talented writer to do that. And then I'll still get a comment, "What's so impressive about it? Didn't we asking? I thought it's just gags." I don't know, bro. Watch the fucking video? Anyway, let's watch Peak. What the fuck is Wiz doing up there? What type of kinky fun times was she involved in before we walked in? Is it just me, or does this turtle look like it's about to get freaky with this chicken? Like, where's the cautious hero, bro? Is he gonna, like, pop up at the end of the season and be like, alright, I'm back? That might honestly be the most Seiya thing to do, to be fair. Bro really just said, "You act older than you look, and it confuses me, and I don't want to get arrested." It's almost like anime loves to have still shots where we just pan over. And it's not just because this is a simple chibi show, but this is just how anime is. Ew. Why is the pasta a lot? Okay. Thank God, Hani's like, goddamn, tell me I'm not the only weird one. Heinz is just having the time of his life. Bad enough when people boil lobsters alive. I don't need to see that how the spaghetti do it too. Yeah, because you shouldn't boil anything alive. It has pain sensors, you weirdos. We've seen a lot of like violent shit in isekai in recent anime seasons, but watching them brutally slaughter living spaghetti might be one of the most fucked up shit I've seen. It kind of looks like some white woman who just put a can of cream of something on a roast and just called it a day. In the last episode, we saw her group, and she was so disinterested, but because it required food this time, she actually was interested. Little details that you can overlook, but I love it. Yeah, it's kind of up eating the cute little, "Dang, don't kill me, I'm just cute little pasta. Oh, you burned me alive, you savage." What is this? Imagine just getting into a recording booth and getting paid for an afternoon because you just made some dumbass noises into the fucking mic. I wonder which of the voice actors that were already in did the VA work for this. Because there's no way they hired someone for zombie pasta. It's like fucking Rem's VA just going, and then they added a filter. I love how we go from Tanya's like existential crisis of like, what do you mean pasta moves in your world, to then pasta just attacking him. Darkness! I think she just splooged. At the end of the day, if you watch more than a handful of isekai in your lifetime, you'll realize isekai can get very dark, very violent, very brutal, in fact. Look at Subaru. Boy's been through the ringer. And you'd think, well, surely if Subaru's in school, it's a vacation, right? Like, this is just a cute little gimmicky show, nothing too crazy. Nah, that's where you'd be wrong, because here's the thing. Whether you like it or not, this is actually what peak isekai brutality looks like. Because are you seriously going to show me the living pasta, and you're going to shrink it down into a chibi little thing? They almost look like McDonald's french fries. I gotta keep it real. And they have these cute little sound effects. I swear it could have been Pikmin character, man. It's just adorable. Tossed right into the boiling pot of water. See, here's the thing. I already don't like the concept of boiling lobsters alive. I think it's a mess. If something has a pain sensor, we don't boil it alive. We have empathy. But if you shrink that thing down into a cute the only way it would have been worse is if the water turned red as we were boiling. You might want to say, Brandon, it's pasta. How would it have blood? If we have moving pasta, living pasta, there's no reason to say it couldn't have a reaction to the water that turns red. Have a little imagination. But I think the best part of that entire messed up dynamic is Tanya. So Tanya, all things considered, probably comes from the most normal isekai world of the bunch. Like, yeah, it's military warfare, but there's not a whole lot of weirdness. At least in comparison to the others. Like, yes, there is still isekai weirdness, but if I'm looking at Konosuba, Overlord, Re:Zero, Cautious Hero if he ever decides to return, Eminence and Shadow, like, they are what I think of when I think of an isekai magical world. Tanya's is a lot more similar to ours. I'm not saying it's anywhere close, but it's more similar, right? So for her to be like, bro, like, she feels like the odd one out. She's playing the straight man right there, being like, What do you mean pasta's alive in your... The cabbage too? What? How do you guys eat food? What is this? And I love how she has to go over and be like, bro, is it like that in your world too? Nah, they're normal. Oh, thank God. It's so funny. And it's all the little jokes too. You got the teacher Wiz hanging up in the... I don't even know how she got there. As far as we know, she never got down. The living spaghetti turns into zombie spaghetti, which then fights everyone. And of course, the one person who didn't want to be saved, that being Darkness, is basically in heaven. Literally the embodiment of the meme. The meme's been repurposed a lot, but the one I always think of is when there's like pictures or videos, and it's like a woman like gothed out of her mind screaming at a guy, and the dude's just smiling with like a caption, hey, if you see a hot goth screaming at me, leave me be. I'm exactly where I need to be. That's Darkness when it comes to anything roping her up. She moaned into the mic this week, bro. And it's not the first time we've ever heard Darkness do it, but certainly one of the most erotic versions of it, the way she performed in the face she was given. This show's amazing. It is. I said it last week, and no matter how much I say it, no matter how much I explain it, people will still be like, isn't it just a dumb chibi short? I can start a video and explain why that's not the case, and I'll still get those comments. And usually I ever do reply, it's always the deflection, well, I didn't want to get spoiled. It's a chibi short. You really worried about getting spoiled? This show has done a remarkable job, and I need to make this explicitly clear, a remarkable job at taking so many different styles of isekai, throwing them into one pot, not only having them all still feel like they're individual characters from their individual stories, but the way they write things. Like, hell, the little moment at the very end with Ainz and Best Boy, and he's just like, aha, that's my master for you. Of course he figured out how this happened. And Ainz is like, what are you guys saying? I don't know. What? Like, that's straight out of Overlord, but it's the best. It's just because all these situations shouldn't naturally happen for their series, but the way they then respond, it's written as if they are their original characters. It's brilliant. It's actually incredibly impressive how 3 seasons in a movie, it's only gotten better rather than feeling like it's the same jokes or it's exhausted all creativity. In fact, I don't see a reason why this couldn't last a minimum of 10 seasons with the current characters. Don't even introduce more characters. Current characters. Granted, yes, they're half episodes, so they're shorter. So if we take a step back, 5 full seasons worth of content with the current characters if they were normal length episodes. But because it's Isekai, we can keep introducing more and more. Still waiting for Boxo, that's all I'm saying. But this was great. I loved it. Fantastic. There's no other way to put it. But if I ever see those adorable little pastas get boiled alive again, I'm gonna have to Isekai myself into this. Let me know your thoughts down below on this week's episode of Isekai Quartet. Drop a like, share your support, subscribe if you're new around your Patrons where you can catch those full live reactions and some more. Hey, I also like to give video shoutouts to my wonderful patrons. So today we got Lorena Frazier, Moose, Daniel, Leon Chow, Marcus Rudrutz, Alias Cortez, and we also have Jose Raffle Caster. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You have a good one.